Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 193 for Tuesday, the 16th of January 2024. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby 360G, and joining me today is
Nick Fights. I can't think of anything funny to say.
And Sensei Switch. I never have anything funny to say.
And that is it. How we doing? All good?
Not bad.
So we are hot off the presses from the Game of the Year episode. That was a good one. I enjoyed that. That was fun. So this week we're going to be back to normal, talking about the games we played, catching up and talking about the games that we couldn't talk about in the Game of the Year show, etc., etc. Yeah, it's going to be good. So let's get into it, shall we? So, there's been a couple of new things this week, Darren. I know you've played them. I'm not sure about Nick.
I never play new things. You know this.
Well, brand new demos have come out. The two games. Remember those things, demos? It seems to be coming back. Because you remember in the old days, you used to get the demo discs. I always used to subscribe to the PlayStation magazine just for the demo discs.
Yeah, I used to get one when I was a paper boy, save up £5 a month. Always the way, isn't it? Yeah. I've still got a few left now. Not many, but like the ones with Resident Evil and things like that on them, which are good, and the Metal Gear Solid one.
Yeah. Yeah, so it seemed to me like demos kind of went away. But I seem to be making a little bit of a comeback. So the first demo, I might as well talk about them both because I know Darren's played them both anyway. I'm pretty sure you have. If not, I get to talk about them. I know you played one of them anyway. 100%. The Prince of Persia demo.
No, I haven't played this one.
Okay. Nick?
I had no idea it was out, so...
Okay, so... Yes, I played the Prince of Persia demo. Now, I'm going to be a little bit controversial because all the reviews have been like 9 out of 10. So it's getting very high praise. And it's gone back to the old school Prince of Persias from yesteryear. It's side-scroller. But it's like a Metroidvania. Now, if you live under a rock and don't know what Metroidvania is, it's kind of like... it's side-scrolling, but it's like got a little map in the corner, and it's like little routes you can take, and you go back on yourself, and blah blah blah, like Castlevania and Super Metroid, which is why it's called a Metroidvania. I played the demo, and I have to say I didn't like it. I think I'm in the minority, but it's been done before. It didn't feel like anything new. The cartoony graphics just didn't really... They weren't gelling with me. I think it'd be good on like a handheld, maybe, like on a Steam Deck or a Switch or something.
Yeah, I saw some screenshots on... Sorry, Switch, go on, mate.
No, it's fine. Carry on.
I saw some screenshots of that on Twitter, and I thought, oh, that doesn't look like a game I want to play. But then I never played any of the original ones, so...
Yeah. No, I never played the originals. I mean, I think the first one I ever played was Sands of Time. That was like a 3D one, so...
Yes, so wasn't it?
Yeah, so, I mean, fair play to people that played the demo and enjoyed it. Not taking anything away from that, and the reviews are certainly not in my opinion. But with such a busy year this year as well, it just, for me... It's a no. Don't really... It's just... As I say, like, Metroid-type, type games are not really my thing anyway. But, it's got, like, melee... So it's got a melee combat, and it's got, like, a bow and arrow, and it's got all the jumping shit, and figuring out your routes and that. And I was just like, oh... I played it for about 20 minutes and turned it off.
It is a sort of full price game, isn't it, as well?
I'm not sure how much it is.
I don't think it's a budget. I'm pretty sure it's about 45, 50 quid.
Well, if that is right, then that's wow. I'm trying to find it online while I look. Is it called The Lost Crown, isn't it?
Quid.
40 quid?
On PS5. Yeah, 36, 37,
yeah, that's too much. Yeah.
Quid. Yeah. So, but technically that's what? Like a third cheaper than this normal 60?
Yeah, but still, in my opinion, it's kind of it's kind of feels like a budget type game, you know?
Yeah.
But obviously it's Ubisoft, so yeah. That's a shame. Anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that quickly and just say, yeah, not really my thing. But if people enjoy it, then fair enough. But I would wait. If I was going to get it, I would wait for a sale anyway. So yeah, there's that. And the other demo that I know Darren has played is the Granblue Fantasy Relink demo for PS5. Now, the game is also launching on PC, but the demo is exclusive to PlayStation. Just FYI. Now, I don't know how much. I'm sure Darren finished the story portion.
Yeah, that doesn't take long. No. That's the only part of it I've actually tried, to be honest.
So, there's actually 3 different things to do in the demo. So you've got the training mode.
Yeah, I did that as well.
Yeah, and then you've got the story bit, and then you've got the dungeon bit, which has online co-op. So I checked that out as well. So, training mode wise, it just teaches you how to play the game with the fighting mechanics, which I think, Darren, are quite fun, to be honest.
Yeah, it were. They were. It was Platinum Games that were sort of behind the combat side of it when it was in development like years ago.
Yeah, I think this game has been in development for quite a long time.
It was. I think it was announced shortly after the PS4 Pro came out.
Wow.
But obviously COVID halted the development, and then it was pushed back at least twice, I think, as well after that.
Wow. Because
it was supposed to come out in 2021, then I was imagining it was going to come out last year, and then it was pushed back again.
Right, because what I found quite interesting, because I was trying to find some info about the game on YouTube, and there was videos on there from 2 years ago, like gameplay, like where like they'd given the game to like some streamers and shit, so they got to like do previews and that was 2 years ago. Now what's quite interesting about Granblue Fantasy Relink is it's also coming out day one on PS4. Which I think, how long's the PS5 been out now? Is it 3 years?
3.5, 4 years, something like that, maybe.
And they're still bringing games out for the PS4. I think that's crazy.
Well, it was announced for the PS4 originally.
Yeah. But saying that, the new COD's also on, I think, is on PS4 and Xbox One as well. So, yeah, I just find it interesting now. I don't know if you would agree with me on this, Darren, but graphically, obviously it's got its specific art style. I enjoy I think the game, from what I've played, is good, but graphically, I personally think it could be better. But that's just my opinion. It looks very last gen to me.
Well, I think that's generally just a fucking issue with the resolution. I don't think it's in 4K unless you're playing on like the super uber whatever it is.
Oh yeah, because I've got performance mode and graphical mode, haven't I? Yeah.
So yeah, because it should look sharper than it does. Like visually, it looks fantastic when you see the character models up close, but when they're kind of zoomed out a little bit, It lacks a little bit of clarity, which was kind of slightly annoying for me.
Right. That's fair enough. Now, I've never played, excuse me, a Granblue game properly. Now, I played that fighting one. I can't remember what it was called now.
Well, the original Granblue game is a shitty mobile gacha game, so.
Ah, right. See, I couldn't find it on my phone store. I was looking for it, but I don't think it's on there, and it's not. It's definitely not on my Android store.
No, I think it's only available in Japan as well.
Right.
It's been a game that's also been accused of employing like really shady, horrible tactics. Like it's one of those that has like limited time events, and then you pay money to get certain drops, and then I think there was like a scandal where people worked out if you got like the top drop from one season, it pretty much guaranteed you'd never get the drop for the following season.
Right, okay. Sounds about right for a mobile game.
And why I stay the hell away from it, because it's a fucking rip-off.
Yeah. Yeah, so... oh, God, sorry, I've got a little bit of a cough at the minute. Granblue versus... Oh, it was Versus I played before, that's right. It was like a side-scrolling fighting type game. Anyway, so this is a full-on JRPG. And the story portion of the demo I thought was quite cool because it reminded me slightly of the Tales games in a weird way, just with the art style. And the fighting's kind of this mishmash of, active fighting, if that makes sense. You have your buttons for attacking and you got your buttons for doing like some magic moves and your link moves with the other characters in your party, etc. But it all, to me, Darren, it feels like it flows really well together.
Oh yeah, the combat feels nice and good. The other thing that might be in something is this demo might have been the exact same demo that people had a couple of years ago.
Right.
Because it has been playable in demo form for years.
Yeah.
And it just so happened to be the same part of the game in the story that I've seen in the demo, like all those years ago, same boss and everything.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, so it was quite cool because like it drops you in a portion of the story and you're on this kind of island type area. There's like you got to rescue some hostages and you have some like story going on in the background and then you got to fight some bosses, etc. I quite enjoyed it. There's not really much else you can say on that, really. Now, the other portion of the game that you obviously haven't played is this kind of mission mode, which you can also do in co-op, and it kind of reminded me of Monster Hunter, the way it's all set up. So you're in this kind of hub area, and there's like a table there, and you talk to this person, and and it gives you a list of missions, and then you can and then you have an option to create a co-op game so people can join you or join one that's in progress.
Right.
So that's kind of how it's going to work. So it's not co-op in the main campaign. It's kind of its own separate thing. Now, I'm just kind of wondering how popular that's going to be, etc., because from my point of view, obviously, I really want the game. It looks great. But it's not cross-play, and it's 20 quid cheaper on PC than PS5. So,
well, only if you buy the stupid digital version. The physical copies are around 40 odd quid if you know where to look.
Yeah, so even that's a tenner cheaper on PC because it's £29 on PC. So I'm kind of debating at the minute now. I'd love to play it co-op with you and D-Twin, you see, but I just want to know. I'm trying to gauge, if people are going to want to do that co-op portion or not. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, it's going to be weird because obviously everyone's going to be doing the story, aren't they, before they do the co-op stuff?
That's right. Yeah. So it's just interesting. I'm just trying to gauge like how that co-op portion of the game, like, does it link into the single player? Does it level up your dudes, or is it just a completely separate thing?
I imagined it was just like its own separate thing where you choose your character and off you go.
Yeah.
Because the other thing that's kind of bizarre is it's going to be weird to know where the game actually starts off.
Right.
Because obviously, as you know, on the demo for the story mode,
yeah,
you've got all the fucking characters with you straight away. And unless you like know the lore of the game or you've watched the anime or whatever, you're not going to know who any of these people are.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And you sort of started in it like, oh, my character's like level 3 or 4 in the story, that part of the demo in the story. And I thought, like, this to me seems like something you do once you've got all the gang together and you're probably all about level 10, 15 plus.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's an interesting one, I think, because it's a fun game, and the setting of the world from the demo looked really beautiful and cool. And the character design's pretty cool as well, but it's just, I'm hoping it does a good job of explaining the characters and stuff, because I think this is the first RPG to hit consoles, as far as I'm aware. Because the other ones have been fighting games, haven't they?
Yes, yeah. And even then, I don't know how much they go into the story side of it.
Right. So, but yeah, it was quite. But you know, but before this demo, I was a little bit on the fence about it. But I think the demo's kind of sold me on it, because it's just, I love a good RPG, and I'm getting those vibes. That's going to be good, you know.
Mm. Yeah, it sort of fills in a little bit of that hole from like the Tales games, etc.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah,
and at least sensibly is coming out like about a month or so before Rebirth.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, it looks good, man. I just don't know what system I'm going to get it on yet. So we shall see.
Obviously, you've got the other boon of, like, if you do pick up a physical copy somewhere, then you can sell it and get some money back on it. So
yeah, true.
The difference in price there could become a what's it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it was just really good to have a demo to play, because it's kind of gone back to those days where a demo's convinced me that a game seems really cool. So
it was like that with the Tekken 8 demo. When I tried that out, I was just like, oh, this is a pretty sizable upgrade from the last Tekken I played.
Brilliant. Oh, that's really good to hear, mate.
And that's out in a couple of weeks as well.
Nice. So many games.
I think it's out on the same day as the Like a Dragon game and Under Night in Birth 2 as well.
Yeah. Now,
it's a demo for Final Fantasy 7 Remake 2.
Rebirth? No, I don't think they'll do a demo.
Well, I don't know. I think they have had a playable one. Yeah, they have had one, I think. But I think people have played it behind closed doors, so it wouldn't surprise me if they threw one up. The other thing I will add is if you complete certain parts of that Granblue Fantasy demo, you do unlock stuff for the full game.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
It shows you as well on the screen, doesn't it? Like what you've unlocked.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Unlock what.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so yeah, it's been a good week for demos. Can convince me that one game is good and one is shit. Nick, talk to me, baby. You've been quiet.
Yeah, don't know what those games are, to be honest.
I didn't think you would.
Yeah, so I finished Super Mario RPG.
Oh, fantastic!
So I finished that now. So obviously that was in my games of the year, even though I hadn't finished it because that was there by default. But
yeah,
it's a good game. It looks nice. I think that's a okay remake, like pretty much a 1-for-1, faithful to the original. They didn't really add anything to it.
I did hear, Nick, though, that they made it easier.
It was pretty easy. I think I may have died twice in the whole thing. And I wasn't even playing on super easy mode either.
Wow.
I was playing on normal, so if there was an even easier mode than that, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty basic, pretty easy. I only had to look up online a couple of bits where I got stuck.
Yeah.
Because it does a thing like in between like the levels and whatever you're doing, you go to like a map section, you know, where you walk across the dots to the next bit. Yeah. And there's a few bits where it will put like where you're supposed to go. It'll put like a little red flag to know you're supposed to be there. But I think a couple of times you're not, or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's like, and you're supposed to, and there's one where you're supposed to follow this this bloke to open a bit to get a thing. You know what JRPGs are like, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I think especially even then, which I think this came out, 96? That's one of the last games for the SNESes. I mean, even then, they sold strategy guides and things like that. And I was talking today on my Twitch stream when we were playing games, you know, like games of that era, you know, like I think late 90s up until, 2010s. There was just a guide for every game, wasn't there? And they really pushed them in the shops as well. But yeah, so but you know, that's a good game. Looks nice. Not, like I said, nothing really happens though. You know, that's just like you know, I can't think of. I mean, obviously they couldn't kill off Peach or nothing with Bowser jumping down with a big bloody sword, could they? You know, I mean, because even though it is Square Enix, but it's good. I enjoyed it, but I don't think I'd ever play it again though. Not like, you know, some of the other Final Fantasies and other JRPGs, because, you know, you want to relive those stories, whereas this one wasn't really a story. It's just like there's this big sword and a portal chucking monsters everywhere. You had to collect 7 stars with your team to stop the portal. You did that, fought the big boss, and that was done. And then you watched the credits and they watched the fireworks display. So I'm like, all right, I like fireworks. And that was it. The only thing strange was, like I said, Bowser was like on your team, and what annoyed me because he's like Luigi wasn't anywhere in it. So I'm like, where's Luigi? But
oh no,
yeah, they had these weird other characters called like Mallow and Gino, and I'm like, I have no idea who you are. You know, you could have been, you know, the normal Mario characters rather than those characters. But oh well, at least that's done now. It was a nice game.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate.
Yeah.
Cool. Darren?
Played a few things this past week or so. Although I have generally been still playing Lies of P on and off.
I've noticed.
I am now pretty much right near in the latter part of New Game Plus again.
Wow.
Sort of going for some of the other endings the game may have and mopping up a few of the old Chivos. It's been quite interesting actually going through on New Game Plus because you get +1 versions of some of the items that you picked up on the original playthrough.
Yeah.
And obviously the enemies hit harder and have more health to sort of counterbalance a little bit the level difference that you would have had from starting the game afresh to starting the game with, like I say, like a level 70, 80 character or something on the second time round. But yeah, still really enjoy the game. Absolutely fantastic. Sort of spurred me on to start playing another game of its ilk, which I'll talk about a bit later on as well.
Yeah. To listen to the rest of this week's awesome episode, which is over 2 hours long, you need to subscribe to the Patreon. So head on over to patreon.com/360gamercast. From there you can sign up from as little as £5 a month and you will get an episode every single week of the year. So what are you waiting for? Make it your New Year's resolution. Sign up today over at patreon.com/360gamercast.